5 years ago in 2019, around May of 2019, when Dayton Hamvention was happening, I met up with a group of other YouTubers in the ham radio space, and we started doing recordings together, which would later become the YouTubers Bunch. That's kind of what we named it. The first one was in August of 2019, so almost 5 years ago to the month at the time of this recording. And for the last couple years, we kept it going for a year and a half or so, something like that. We would meet about once a month and talk about a specific topic. And then we just kind of fell out of it. New things happened, new things came into light and whatnot. So I've been wanting to restart this for a while, and today is that day. Today we are restarting, we are relaunching the monthly YouTubers Bunch recordings. I've actually started a brand new audio podcast where I take these audio rips out and upload them to all the audio podcasting services that you would expect, like iTunes, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and all the other ones, because those have been some of my most popular audio recordings on my standard audio rip podcast for Ham Radio 2.0. So I'm relaunching that series as the YouTubers Bunch on all of your audio podcast streaming services. Look for that. I'll put a link to it in the description below. And this will be episode something. 20, 30, 40, somewhere, wherever we left off before. This one will come after all of that. And I'm happy to welcome the original cast from the very first YouTubers Bunch episode onto this podcast today. Thanks for watching, guys. Be watching your emails. If you have a Ham Radio YouTube channel, I want you to come on to one of these recordings, and we're going to get together and talk about some ham radio stuff soon. So be watching for that. 73, thanks for watching this channel, and hope you enjoy it. Well, we are back on a official YouTubers Bunch recording, and I have invited all of the people that you see here, except for two. The five of us plus two more were on the very first recording that we did, which was in August of 2019. I was trying to do this last month, and I got behind, and then we had to delay for a couple of you guys, which is totally cool, no big deal. I didn't send the invites out in time anyway. But August of 2019, which was after several of us met at Hamvention of 2019, and then and they were all like, "Yeah, let's do this again next year." And then 2020 happened. So, but that's kind of when these recordings became popular, I think, because we were all sitting in front of the camera on YouTube and people were actually watching us. So it became a very fun exercise in talking about ham radio across the YouTube space. So. Bob, Mike, Josh, and Sterling, thank you for joining me today. Johnny from Signal Search, which I don't think his channel's even out there anymore. I invited him, but I think he's kind of dropped out of ham radio right now. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him in a while. And then, of course,
dropped out of ham radio, but he's definitely dropped out of YouTube.
Okay, maybe. Okay. Yeah, it looked like his QRZ page had been updated recently.
Yeah, I'll see him. I've got him in my ham alert. I'll hear him. I'll see him spotted every now and again.
That's good. Okay. And then, of course, Jerry. Remind me his call sign, Mike.
KG6HQD.
HQD, yeah. Who went silent key in, when was that? 2020. Last year? Was it 23?
Was it just last year?
No.
Seems like it was a couple years ago, but I don't remember. But
can't give you a correct date, but keep going.
Okay. Well, obviously, I met Jerry one time. It was at the Mount Pacifico thing. He hauled a bunch of water up there to the top of the mountain for us, and he and his dog were running back down. And I remember, and I told my wife this, I was like, I remember shaking the guy's hand, and the guy had freaking catcher's mitts for hands. It was
Bear
just,
claws.
yeah, I was like, wow, that dude is like a meaty hook he shook my hand with. He didn't squeeze hard or anything. I was just like, dude, you got some beefy hands there. But he was a tall guy, big dude, and really, really, really nice guy. Real great guy to know. I'm glad I got to meet him at least the one time. So sad that he can't be with us today as well. But once again, thanks guys for joining me, and we're just going to kind of talk about the general state of ham radio and the general state of ham radio on YouTube. And this is going to be kind of like a restart, like a relaunch, because I want to start doing these every month again. We used to record these just about every month, and I want to start doing that again. And like I was telling the guys before I hit record, I was like, I'm going to do a little bit more focus this time. I used to just send an email out and whoever joined, but now I'm going to try to target certain groups And we might do like a whole group thing before some of the larger ham fests, like the month before, just to kind of talk about plans. But month to month, I might do like a little bit more targeted thing. So I got a group in mind for who I'm going to invite next month. So if you have a YouTube channel and you've never been on one of these recordings, shoot me an email. I'd be glad to invite you and your group onto the channel. So I'm going to switch scenes here. I'm going to go like this. Hold on. Show self view. So this thing is kind of neat because this new multi-speaker in Zoom, like once you talk for a couple of minutes, it'll kind of like float your window to the top by itself.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
finally some intelligence.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's taken them long enough. It's almost like an MDI, but it's like an AI version of NDI. It does it all automatically.
If they could just give us NDI, we could do it on our own and just be done with it. It'd be beautiful.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'd even pay more money for it.
And see, so it floated Josh's window to the top for about a half a second before Sterling turned his camera off.
Sterling's gone.
So, I guess if there's 4 of you here, then it's just an even square. But if there's an odd number, then did he drop? Oh, he did drop.
Oh,
okay, there he is.
Mike, was your Zoom name chosen on purpose, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's this ham radio tube.
Oh, it is.
Oh, backwards.
Even older Ma. Okay. That's like from that movie Fallen.
E-boot, Oidar, Ma.
I thought it was some kind of battery composition we were learning about. I saw milliamp hour.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Milliamp hour, yeah. That's good. All right, Sterling, welcome back.
Breaking news.
So, yeah, right now it's got Josh and Mike at the top of the screen, and it's got myself, Bob, and Sterling at the bottom because we haven't been talking as much. So it's kind of cool the way it works. I kind of got a kick out of it when I first realized what it was doing. Pull that down there. Okay. All right. So someone kick us. I don't want to go in order or anything. Someone kick us off. Tell us how your channel's been doing, what you've been learning. Bob, I know you've got some unique stuff you've been doing that.
I've been exploring the dark side of the world.
Well, I mean, you used to carry the moniker the most hated man in ham radio, and I think you've stuck to that pretty well. So I did a video recently, and I talked about how it was the ICOM video. It was about the exploding V82s, right? And I'm like, well, and I made a comment in that video, and I said, you don't blame if any intelligent person is not going to blame a gun manufacturer if someone goes out and commits a gun crime. So I said, even if this was an actual legit ICOM radio, which it looks like it wasn't, it shouldn't be ICOM's fault, especially for a radio that's been discontinued for 10 years. Boy, I got some hate about that gun comment, though. Wow.
Are you?
Like, this is ham radio. What does it have to do with guns? I'm like, literally open your eyes right now. Ooh. Seriously, know your community, my friend.
Really?
Oh my gosh, I got some lip about that. You know what? Everybody has the right to their own opinion. It's okay, but you're wrong. So
yeah, hey, it is Texas, man.
Yeah, I did go and buy. I went to eBay and I found the radios. I bought them. They're clones. They're straight up copies. They're just selling brand new copies of that radio, and it's not even original. It's just chintzy plastic, whole 9 yards. So
have you taken it apart to make sure it's not going to explode on you?
I am. It is actually sitting in a box in the backyard until I can get the explosive ordnance disposal team out here. The EODs come in here and after lunch, so we'll take care of it.
Maybe you could bring it to the police station, run it by one of the bomb sniffing dogs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The bomb sniffing dog. That's what I would do.
That's where you walk in with the trench coat and you just open it really fast. And you got a bandolier
of an ICOM.
ICOMs.
Oh my god.
Somebody.
Oh my god.
Or is it an I-bomb?
Oh no.
Too soon.
ATF is coming for all you.
All of you, yeah.
I have a shirt that says defund the ATF.
This is not my shirt. I found a shirt with a guy. There was a guy wearing a shirt at the last Overland show I went to. And I walked by him, I started laughing. I turned around, I was like, dude, can I take a picture of your shirt? On the back, it said, ATF is gay. And I'm like, I wouldn't wear something like that. But I'm like, that's an insult to gay people if you ask me.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
So, oh, boy. It's always something. So, yeah. So, Bob, tell us. I am going to call you out. Bob, tell us about what you've been doing on Saturdays, because you've moved to Idaho. You were in California when we did our very first recording, but you moved somewhere in there. So tell us what you've been doing with that.
So 2021, the height of COVID, I got the hell out of California. Moved to Idaho. I have been happily ever after in Idaho. I kind of got more of a different focus now. I was still doing ham radio videos, still am doing ham radio videos, by the way, in case YouTube doesn't tell you that. You can go search on K6UDA and get the best in ham radio videos. But also I started doing a couple of things. I've always been a huge firearms guy, always been a huge Second Amendment guy. And so I started doing a Second Amendment kind of a show on Rumble, exclusively over on Rumble, called, oddly enough, K6UDA Guns and Ham Radio. So I'm posting over there, posting all the 2A stuff, plus all the ham radio stuff over there. Very recently, this last year, actually, I started a thing. It was almost kind of a joke. I called it the Southern Idaho Command. Kind of Rush Limbaugh-esque.
Ah, okay.
Anyway, I started doing a net on Saturday mornings. I don't want to say that I've gotten into preparedness, because I've always been into being prepared for whatever. But anyway, we started doing this net on Saturday mornings. I called it the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. And it's grown a little bit, not huge, and I don't want it to be huge. But we talk about some really good issues. Anyway, I was live streaming that on YouTube for the last year. Today, we went live for the first time on Rumble, exclusively on Rumble. And now I'm going to repurpose, or I'm going to bring the YouTube side of everything all the way back to straight ham radio. So all of you guys that don't want to hear about being prepared for any kind of a disaster, don't worry. You could go to YouTube now and you can watch good old Bob talking about antennas again.
But how are people going to hate you then?
Yes.
You know what? They'll have to go to Rumble. You'll have to go to Rumble and follow the Idaho Preparedness Channel and K6UDA Guns and Ham Radio, where you can hate me all you want. And Bert actually followed me over.
Bert. Oh my God.
Over on Rumble.
Oh my God. Bert's there, huh?
Bert is there in all his glory.
Oh my goodness.
I must not be fortunate to know who Bert is.
Bert's old school.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
He hates everything and everybody equally.
Yeah. He's the personification of the sad ham. Before he was a sad ham before there was such a thing as a sad ham. So.
Yes.
Shit, I think
he
Sterling
puts the F in FUD.
Right, yeah. I think Sterling's had some run-ins with Bert, if I'm not mistaken.
Like on the internet or in person?
I think on the internet, on QRZ.
Oh, okay.
I think.
He's okay.
I could be wrong on that, but
yeah. So anyway,
cool, man.
Hey, K6UDA went dark.
That's right.
On the dark side of the earth.
The black pill of YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, YouTube black pill. That's funny. Well, thank you, Bob. I knew you were doing all that. I didn't know that you were moving all that specifically to Rumble. So that's good to know. But
that's
I
actually this morning was our first time trying out the whole. It took me a while. Rumble, I'll tell you what, it takes a lot of work to put a live stream up on Rumble as opposed to YouTube. It really does.
Like,
Well, not for you tech kind of guys.
okay. I'm like, what?
But for, like for a guy like me, it really does.
I've been live streaming my stuff to Rumble with Restream. You can just use the RTMP connector in Restream and use the settings for Rumble. You kind of have to you have to basically reset it up every time because it doesn't pull anything over.
I hate that.
Yeah, you have to set up it like when you change titles on everything, it doesn't change the title on that and that kind of thing. So you have to kind of redo that. And one time, and I don't know what the deal is with this, I need to email Restream and ask them, but one time, people on Rumble, their chat, when they would chat on Rumble, I had like 4 people watching me on Rumble, their chat would be shown up on YouTube because Restream should cross-connect all your chats between Twitch and Facebook and wherever else you're streaming to, all to your YouTube chat. And one time it worked on Rumble, and ever since then it hadn't worked. So I don't know why that is. So, but probably a setting that I have wrong. But
I'm on a Mac, and I use Ecamm as my main deal. So everything used to kind of go through Ecamm, and now I've got to separate it all out, and it's a pain in the ass, but I like the result better.
Good.
That's the Apple tax.
Yeah, the Apple tax. That's right.
OBS is on Mac. You can do OBS too.
That's what I'm using right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Restream's web-based. You can use Restream all you want to. Doesn't matter what operating system you got.
That's true too.
Yeah. So cool, Bob. Well, thanks, man. It's been too long since you and I hung out over the Zoom chat or over the interwebs, as it were. So I appreciate you being here today, man.
Yeah, I'm having fun. This is good.
Good. Awesome. Well, Josh, you're up there next to Bob on my screen right now, so I'll let you go.
Man,
what's going on in your world?
Are we looking back over the course of the last 5 years? Things have changed precipitously on my channel over the last 5 years.
It's been 5 years since we first met, but we had a lot of videos together throughout 2020, 2021. So just whatever. Just kind of like the latest state of things.
It's kind of like if you want to look at, I don't mean to go back over 5 years, but I won't do that. But it feels like it's just an evolution of kind of getting older. Like that's what I'm feeling like a little bit with YouTube and balancing family and work and all of that. There's so much going on, and then just to still do content that's tangentially connected to what I'm doing in and around with the family and whatnot has kind of been some of my goals recently. So trying to, when I can, get out there and do more activation, but with kids it's so difficult with weekends and after school events and all that stuff. So a lot of things have been tweaking different ways of video producing. Like what I have right now is my OBS setup where I can change things over to my overhead, where I have my delicious sandwich that Jason has been lusting over.
I got it. I'm coming back to California for that.
Just for that. That's and connecting up radios and stuff like that. It's just been a fun kind of evolution as technology has gotten better. Like, of course, radios have gotten so much better. We're living in the best time to be alive in radio. But
Absolutely.
The video equipment that is available to us is insane. Like, it is so good. The audio equipment, all the streaming gig setup, HDMI switchers, the cameras. I mean, talk to Mike, he'll tell you all about it. But the iPhone is like one of the best things you can get started in video making, and it just every year it's better and better and better. And then you got this DJI 3. I've had all 3 of those Osmos. The third one is just spot on. It is good. It's so good. It's almost like when we kind of started aligning our ideas and thoughts together and doing these little videos.
Oh, look at Sterling.
Look at this hat.
Look
at this hat. When we started kind of aligning what we were doing and doing some live streams in the shows, it's gotten so much better and so much easier for people to make channels and content, and share their radio stories. It's just been awesome. I just having a blast.
Good. Are you going to do your Pacifico thing again? I know we talked about that in Huntsville.
It's probably too late to do it now because we're like a month out, and I don't want to force people to get planes and fly out. But I gotta and November might not be the right month It's kind of our fire season, which we got lucky a little bit on the last time, and fires have been getting stronger and stronger since we did it back in 2018 or 19.
I think no, 19. I think
19. Still,
I think it was 19. I think it was
crazy.
Still is
crazy. So we'll set something up. I'll try and find something that is like that, where we hike out to it and then we'll do the thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Maybe something with water though, like a water source. That would be nice.
Yeah. Well, the great thing about that place was that, well, first of all, it doesn't really get, I mean, you guys might disagree with me, and that's okay. It doesn't get hot in California, but it was hot kind of that hike up, but then when you got to the top, it was nice and cool.
Right, because the shade.
Right.
Really
well,
because
nice the elevation. Because the elevation.
That too, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah, so it was pleasant weather the whole time, in my opinion. A little bit hot on the hike up, but not too bad. But once you got up there, it was like, wow, I need a jacket now. So so it was a good area to go.
It was good though, and if I remember correctly, you tanked the you slept in the hammock that night with very little insulation and stuff. So I was like, oh man, Jason can handle the cold. It wasn't that cold, but still, it was like it was pretty good. Sterling was there.
It was Sterling's hammock.
Oh, okay.
It was Sterling's hammock.
Yeah, I brought extras. I didn't know what I wanted, so I
No, we didn't
share.
share.
I was freezing cold. I had like a hot bottle of water between my legs, and was like, "Here's your hammock."
Yeah. No, it was not a shared hammock, Bob. So don't get your hopes up. But no, I had my sleeping bag in my bag, and it's one of these sleeping bags that's like ginormous when it's rolled up. I was like, it is not a camping sleeping bag at all. No. So I have so much better equipment now than I did back then. It's just not even funny.
It's crazy, yeah.
So that was a fun trip. I enjoyed that trip. When you brought that up last month in Huntsville, I was like, yes, I would do that again. So
yeah, I've been thinking about it. We just got to get the right place. It's really about the location, I think, more than anything. Pacifico's good, but maybe we try something a little bit different. See if we can.
I mean, if there's something similar to that in that area, which I'm sure there is. But,
there is. I just got to put some time into it, or I'll get Adam to help me out. Adam knows everything out there. So.
Yes, good point.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Sterling, I'm gonna let you go next because you're up there at the top and you keep jumping away, so maybe you won't jump away if you
Well, yeah, so in the last 5 years I have been the reigning champion of this Hammy Award that we gave out back in 2020. Fewest vids this year as part of the YouTuber Bunch group thing. Fucking
I remember teasing Sterling about not making videos. I think that was at Hamvention in 23. It was the year that Hayden was there.
Yeah.
So it was 23. Hamvention 23. And then Sterling went home and made a video like 2 or 3 weeks later. And I'm like, okay, my job here is done. People were like,
yeah, I got one video out of it.
Why,
now I text every day, but maybe you scared me away.
I don't know, you never know.
I mean, look on my channel. I probably haven't. It's been that long since I made a video. But yeah, if you didn't know, I'm gonna be a dad coming March. So I've got our first girl on the way. Very excited she's a girl. I could be a boy dad, but I think I'm a girl dad. But
congratulations.
I've been,
congratulations.
I'm focused on that and work. Things are crazy. And also in the last 5 years, I officially got an ADHD diagnosis. So you see me running around everywhere. I was like, "This guy has ADHD." Well, you're right. So that's why I did all this YouTube, and then suddenly and then now I'm on a new hyperfocus, and then this, and then so such is life.
Okay.
It should be great for YouTube Shorts then.
Yeah, it would be. So every so often, but the thing is, I really want like a sabbatical or I guess I am on a hiatus, but I want like to go out into a cabin in the woods, like Walden Pond or something, and then just have no technology and just come up with all these ideas, and then have technology, go record some videos and actually do them. But on the other hand, I actually need to operate. Like one of the things I've been just totally lacking over the last couple of years is I just haven't been on the air. I still go so Kyle A0Z at Ward's place, we still do some contesting. He drags me out for a POTA here and there. So you'll see me on his channel more than my own channel as of late. We also started up this beer cast. So him and I would go to we would go beer to our different brewery and just kind of talk about ham radio. We had one or two of those that turned into episodes.
Huh.
And it was, throwing out all these ideas about contesting modernization, and then I kind of took a back seat. I also was doing Youth on the Air. I didn't go this last year because that's when we announced, where we like, I guess, conceived and found out about it, and like started going to the hospital, making sure everything's all right and all that. So Youth on the Air camp in Halifax, I didn't go this year, but I will plan to go next year in Denver with that'll be in July. That's March, April, May, June, July. 4-month-old or 4-month-old. So that'll be fun.
Get him that license early. Get her that license early. Yeah,
we'll see. But
before they can walk.
Right. I do get to take parental leave off of work for up to 12 weeks. So I'm thinking about taking 2 or 4 weeks for the first couple of weeks after birth, and then about 8 weeks after sometime in summer. So I've got Hamvention, I've got Youth on the Air, I've got I really been wanting to go to the West Coast side, whatever there's going on the West Coast in terms of Hamventions. Like I don't forget what Pacificon
and CPAC, I'm told, is a better one. I've never been to any of those, but I want to go to both of them.
Yeah, Pacificon's always hard to get to because it's in San Ramon and it's a goofy flight drive. Yeah,
I was told that it's pretty easy to get from Oakland. You fly into Oakland Airport and it's 20 miles or something.
It's very hard to get out of Oakland.
Yeah. 20 miles though, right? 20 miles in California can mean a lot.
Well, yeah.
On the bright side, like I put a VHF, UHF, what's the thing? The Kenwood with APRS. And I've been beaconing
D75.
APRS, and I just sit on 5.2 all the time. It's very
beaconing APRS on 5.2.
Yes, it has 2 channels.
Lots
it
of
does
press.
APRS on.
It has 2 channels. Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah. As if you need a re-education. I know this is probably for Mike. Although I guess now you're all up to speed. It's been such a long time. Like you bitched about APRS so much, now you love it or something.
Just you wait. Just you wait.
Oh boy.
So I think that was ACK's idea, but.
So yeah, things are good. The channel is dead, but it lives on. I still I keep getting every month $5 goes to Libsyn for my old Phasing Line podcast, which most people here are like, oh, what? And I'm like, yeah, Marty, NN1, KC1, CWF before, and he was a big contester. Youth Ham would talk about contesting and Youth and Ham radio, and it was good, but like didn't get a lot of listens and do a lot of promotion, and it's just one of those things that ADHD, hyperfocus, and then drop. So it's still out there. So things are great. Maybe it'll rejuvenate. I'm my wife is growing a kid, about to have one, and of course she's going to become a ham or not. I don't know. Kids will be kids. Children will be children. They grow up to be whatever. You can only do so much. But you can always push them in the right direction a little bit. So
we've got online testing now.
Yeah.
Maybe the next step is in utero testing.
Oh yeah, I did do a short or a reel on my Instagram where I saw somebody say, children are like new infant, what do you call it, fetuses, I guess.
I saw that.
They can hear sounds at like 6 weeks or 12 weeks or 16 weeks or something. I'm like, oh. And then I get my Morse code translator light app and I just start beeping and it said, hello, baby, LOL, in light and in Morse code. And I was like,
I saw that.
You got a couple views, but it was funny.
Yeah, some guy with
headphones. Once we get a full baby bump, I'll get the headphones, and
there you go.
Just put them over the belly and start sending Morse code. I need to start thinking of a call sign.
That kid's gonna come out and say beep beep as his first word.
Oh yeah,
her first word. Sorry, her first word. So that'd be good. I saw that video. So somebody was like, "Wow, you really did that?" I'm like, "Dude, that's exactly what I'd be doing." Come on.
Of course.
Can be N0BBY.
There you go. There we go. Cool, man. Thanks, Sterling.
He's gonna go, Dad, you ruined my life.
She's gonna do that in about 13 years anyway.
Yeah,
right.
How people when they read might have an internal monologue, or they might not. They just see words and words going. My kid's gonna have an internal Morse code Like everything that all the thoughts are in CW. Gonna have to learn English. It'll be tough.
That's good.
Other than da-da-da-da-da. Like imagine how fast you would have to think and how fast your Morse code would be to keep up with like your actual thinking voice or thinking, inner thought.
If it's in Morse code.
That's like
if it's in Morse code, yeah.
That's wild.
It's got to be like 80, 90 beats per minute, 200 per minute or something.
Jeez.
She'll be speaking RIDI at that point.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Yeah. Opens her mouth and FT8 comes out and you just talk to the computer.
Oh, man.
So, boy, that's funny.
I love it.
So, cool. Yeah. Thanks, Sterling. Thanks for being here,
You could name her FT Kate.
Hey, that's an idea.
I got ideas, man.
Don't do that, Sterling, because he's going to want royalties if you do.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah. 10% is the standard fee.
JT
Karen. Yeah.
JT Karen.
JT Karen, don't.
Yeah. Thanks for the invite. It's good to see y'all again.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Good to see you too. All right, Mike, you're next.
Man.
Besides hating APRS, what have you been up to?
5 years, man. Thinking back to 2019?
2019.
That's pretty much, that's right when we kind of all met.
Yep.
That's how the maths work.
Yeah. I was in Michigan, hating life because I lived in Michigan. I don't want anything to do with the cold. I think I had like 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers back then. Well, I started the channel in like 2018, I think. So, and now
I remember when we all met at Hemvention. I'd say most of us met at Hemvention 2019. I had a booth set up at Bridgecom, and I had brought my camera and my microphones and everything, and we did a live stream. We actually didn't do a live stream because the internet sucked, so we did a recording. And Frank and I were on one side of the table, and we invited Josh to sit down, and we were sitting there talking, and this video is still on there. And we were like, dude, who's the guy at the bar last night that brought the mead? What was his name? We couldn't remember your name, Mike. We were like, dude, who is the guy? And I went back and watched that like 2 or 3 years later. I'm like, holy crap, we were talking about Mike. We didn't even know it.
I think he walked by. I know Concepts
yeah.
You both came by eventually. We were drinking Yingling, I think, or something.
That's that one that the picture of the four of us. It's Josh, Eric, myself, and Mike, all with Yinglings in our hand at the Bridgecom booth. And I'm like, yeah, that guy. Who is he again?
Thanks for noticing me.
Yeah, right. Anyway,
so man,
see how far you've come.
What a wild ride from just getting into amateur radio in 2016, and then starting a YouTube channel a couple years later, and then a couple years after that moving to Texas, and then 6 months after moving to Texas, losing your job from the company that you've been with for 15 years, and saying, screw it, I got money in the bank, I got no debt, I'm going to try doing YouTube full time. And this is the first time in my life both of my parents have supported an idea that I wanted to do. And they're like, my mom calls me Michael. She's like, Michael, I think that's a great idea. And both of my parents said that. And, everybody always says, working for yourself is the best thing in the world. And I'm definitely not making a fortune. I'm probably almost close to half of what I made in my last job. But you know what? I don't need anything. I live within my means, and I'm the happiest I've ever been in my working life. So, and I live in Texas, and it's great. And I've wanted to live in Texas for a while, and I live here now, and it's great. And I just bought another gun a couple weeks ago, and you can just go to the store in Texas and buy a gun. It's great.
Yeah.
America. Whoever heard of it?
It's a free state.
It says, yeah. Wow.
They say that in Texas, but we can do that in Missouri too. You go down to Walmart.
You can actually
go down to the Quick Trip.
There's only
I'm talking a pistol though. Like rifles you can buy usually. But
in most states will let you do that.
In Michigan, if you have a concealed carry permit, which I do, not for Texas, but for Michigan, you can just walk in and buy one. But here, they do a background check, obviously. But yeah, just walked in, and because I was doing a POTA with a guy, he emailed me. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to be near Huntsville. You want to do a POTA?" I'm like, "Sure." So we do a POTA. He's a technician, and it was like his first POTA. And I was carrying my 380, And I guess I was just printing. He saw it. He's like, "What are you carrying?" We started talking about guns, and then he shows me this Glock 43X with a freaking red dot with a red dot on it. I'm like, God damn it, I need this. So literally, he and I, there's a gun store right down the street. He and I went there, and I bought the Glock 43X MOS. So
that's going to be
that's my carry.
I carry that car car arms CW9 right now. I've carried that for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
That 43X is I'm gonna replace my car arms with that 43X. I love that.
It's pretty badass.
It's awesome.
I've got too much money into it already. I'm probably close to a grand with what I have in it now because I've replaced the trigger and some internals and the spring and bought some 15-round magazines and.
So I've got one made right now. It's called a Stealth Arms Platypus. It's a double stack 1911.
Oh, nice!
It's Glock 17
That's a big boy.
mags.
Oh wow!
It uses Glock 17 mags.
That's wild.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Really?
Yeah, that's It should be done and here mid-November-ish. It's like a 6-month lead time. So I ordered it at the beginning of the year.
That's about as long as I'm waiting for my QMX.
Yeah.
I ordered it in May. I'm very close to it being shipped. I was like 650 or something on their back order list because I'm having them make it. And I just looked the other day and I was like 35 or something. So hopefully I'll have it. I don't know, maybe by the end of October or something. But
that's something I've been doing too. Like I haven't been on the air, but I've been buying stuff. Like still buying radios.
It's a disease.
I got
it is a disease. It's totally a disease.
Like I finally got one of the
They're like, what's all this pesky money sitting in my bank account?
Right. Yeah.
Double income, double income, no kids for long. So gotta throw it out there.
Get it while you can.
What's that thing called? It like records a scanner and it puts it on the your. It's not a bear tracker or something, but that thing. I think Josh has one that I got recently. I still haven't turned on. I bought a bunch of kits that I haven't put together. I bought a freaking 500 watt amplifier at Last Ham Venture, 800 watt Meritron.
Oh,
still haven't put it on the air, but I put 220.
Well, you better do it quick because you ain't gonna have any time for nothing pretty
soon. No doubt.
Right.
Well, I got one of the new legal limit expert amplifiers from Main Trading Company. We did some hog trading for that thing. We did some under the table stuff for that thing. Kind of. Not really under the table, but yeah. But I haven't even put the thing on the air yet. I'm like, I was like, I'm going to have to radio. I'm going to have to put the hex beam up just to get an antenna that will handle this much power. Right. And I don't like carrying that hex beam to POTA, so I'm like, I haven't even done anything with it yet.
How is that powered? 120 or 240 or 12 volt or what?
You can actually wire it either way. So I had him, and he wires it for you. So he wired it for 120. And I was just going to take my EcoFlow out there and, because I've got plenty of battery power with AC inverters built in. But I got the he tells you to buy the cables, the interface cables from this guy named Dan, and he just for whatever radio you want. Just say I've got a Yaesu FTDX10. Okay, cool. So it's like $35-$40 something for the cables. So I got the cables for my FTDX10. And it's all in a nice little, and it comes in like this little canvas carrying bag, the amplifier itself. It's like 17 or 18 pounds, I think. It's not light, but it's not heavy either. And it comes with this little portable case that's like, I don't know, a little bit briefcase size maybe. And he's like, yeah. And Richard at Main Training, he's like, yeah, it's made to be portable. And I'm like, dude, this is freaking cool.
The amplifier only weighs 17 pounds?
I think it's 7. I think that's
crazy.
Maybe it's 27. Don't quote me on that. It's light. Whatever it is, it's light.
Well, pretty light.
Wow.
So I've got my KPA 500 over here sitting in a box, and I'm like, I wonder if I should sell that now because I love that amplifier. That KPA 500 is freaking rad. But now I've got a legal limit, and I'm like, yeah, legal limit's great, but I gotta have an antenna that'll handle that much power.
When do you ever turn it up that high?
True. That's what I'm thinking.
Limit amplifier. I had an AL80B was my first amp.
I think that's the one I got.
And I turned it up.
That's a popular
one time. The King of Saudi Arabia was on the air.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I turned that thing all the way up, and I was like, I got to bust this pile up. And I tried for about an hour, and I finally contacted him.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It still took an hour even with all that power, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
now my new thing, I've got a Cushcraft A4S tri-bander with the 40 meter element on it that I'm putting together right now. And I have
that same antenna. Not with the 40. I don't have the 40 meter element. I was contacted by this lady in Arlington, just a couple towns south of me, like 3 years ago. And she's like, "Hey, my husband, he passed away last year, and he's got this tower in the back. He's like, I need someone to take it down. And if you take it down, you can have the antennas that are on it and the tower itself." And I was like, "Okay." So I got a couple buddies. We went over there and took it down. But that's what was on top of it was a Cushcraft A4S, I think you said.
A4S.
So I didn't know what the heck it was. I took some pictures and I put it on. I think I put it on Discord. I'm like, "Anybody know what this is?" And they're, "Oh, dude, that's an A4S." The thing is freaking huge. It doesn't look that big, but it's on top of a 40-foot tower.
That's a vertical, isn't it?
No, it's a tri-band Yagi.
It's
like
a
5-element, I think. 4 or 5-element Yagi.
It's a 3-element Yagi with a director.
I think the A3 is 3-element. A4 is the 4-element.
Okay, that makes sense.
Man, if Idaho wasn't so damn far away, I'd drive over and help you play with it.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's out back. I'm kind of putting it together right now. I'm going to try to get it up on the tower in the next couple of weeks. But
nice.
Yeah, my local club gave it to me.
Wow.
Really?
So they lost the lease on the clubhouse that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And it was put away at somebody's house for a couple of years. Well, we've been doing, like winter field day, QSO parties, all that stuff. And we've, used we've used Studio B for a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, some guys in the club said, "Hey, we're going to give you the beam so you could put a real beam up and take the hex beam down."
That's great.
And so I'm excited. That's going to be real ham radio here.
That's pretty cool. That's a great antenna.
It'll finally be a real ham
antenna.
I can finally be a real ham.
You're gonna make ham radio great again.
I can. Exactly. I should put my shirt on that says that.
That's right. That's right. So good, yeah. But that is a great antenna. But good. Well, so I guess that if you guys are using Studio B out there for Winter Field Day and whatnot, then everybody will just still keep coming out there, and you'll have the antenna up already.
And the antenna will be up, and we use that. We've got we could put 3 or 4 stations on the air right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we could bring out a portable tower. Mm-hmm. Sterling, what do you have on your head now?
Oh, I got to rep the college, the alma mater.
W0EEE.
Yeah. Got it here too.
Nice.
Echo.
So, Bob, could you hook a pentaplexer up to that and run multiple stations on that beam? Or?
Oh yeah. Easily.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That's what we do. We bring a portable tower out, put a tri-bander up, and put a triplexer on.
Triplexer, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we can run. We run 2 or 3 stations off that antenna on separate bands.
Right.
Yeah.
We did that at Field Day one year, Mike. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we do that. In like a little over a week, I'll be going to Washington for the Ham Radio Adventures thing, and they put up a buddy hex they've got the pentaplexer, so we can run 5 radios on one antenna. But to have a freaking, a hex beam's kind of a beam, but like a beam is a beam.
A beam.
Right. 3-element beam is a beam.
Man's beam.
Yeah. That's freaking sweet.
Well, hex beam is basically a 2-element beam, so you get 3 and 4 elements. Obviously, you're doing better than that.
They're not
kind of wide though.
They're not quite.
Yeah, it is very wide. It's very
focused.
wide.
Yeah.
No, but that buddy hex. That's what I put that up at Field Day and Winter Field Day, and I got the triplex. So I was talking to 84MQ Matt, and he was talking about that pentaplexer, which will do basically 10, 12, 15, 17, and 20. So that does all the bands of the hex beam except for 6. And I'm like, that's awesome. And you buy the Pentaplexer at DX Engineering. It's some company that makes it for them. You go and look at it, and most of the time when I use my hex beam, we're at field day or winter field day. Well, you're not supposed to use 12 and 17, the work bands. Well, so they've got a triplexer version that's just 10, 15, and 20, and then they got the Pentaplexer. The Pentaplexer for those extra 2 work bands is literally double the price. It was like $375 for the triplexer and like $750 for the Pentaplexer, and I'm like, I think I'm okay with the triplexer. So that's what we use at field days. I'll put 10, 15, and 20 meters on 3 different radios on the hex beam, and that hex beam's freaking rad. It's not a beam. It's not a 3 or 4 or 5 element beam. That's true. Definitely, that Cushcraft is definitely a better antenna, but that hex beam's awesome. Every time I point that hex beam at somebody and start calling them, they're like, "Wow, loud signal, 5.9." Antenna boy, yeah. So, it's great. I love that antenna, but it's having a triplexer or pentaplexer on an antenna like that is fun. That's fun.
Yeah, Ryan and I were at a park earlier this morning, and there's a Houston. Some people in Houston made a Houston POTA Facebook group, some people I know.
Yes.
So they were at the same park.
The BVARC guys?
Yeah.
Brazos Valley?
Anthony and his girlfriend.
Yeah. I know Anthony.
So I was talking to Anthony on the air last weekend because it was the Texas QSO party, and I was on 40 meters, and he and I worked each other, and he's telling me about it. I'm like, shoot me an email. So I finally just looked at it yesterday, and Anthony's girlfriend is... Her and Ryan are like fighting for the top spot, and they always, flip-flop. So I texted Ryan. I screen grabbed the thing because they had an invite there this morning from like 9:30 to 4 or something. They're doing a group outing. And I'm like, Ryan, they're going to be there tomorrow. We got to do something. So he's like, all right, let's get there early in the morning. I'm like, all right, then I'll just crash at your house. So I slept at his house last night, and we got there at like 7 o'clock this morning and made like 301 contacts. Just passing the mic, just sitting in the car on the Tar Heel. And then when we got done, we went over there to where they were because they were in a different area of the park. And they had a triplexer hooked up to a DX Commander, and everybody was working. And I think they have 4 stations. Somebody else had like just a 17-foot whip as a vertical. But I was thinking we were going to be QRMing them because we've got bandpass filters. And then I go over there and I'm like, damn it, they have bandpass filters too. But it was good. It was fun. It's neat to see that they're creating that little POTA group there. So
I got to get an invite to that. I gotta shoot Anthony a message. I didn't know they had that. I totally want to do that because, Galveston's close enough to Houston, and we POTA down there all the time. Mm-hmm. In fact, Frank is in Galveston at my house this weekend. He rented it for a group of friends to go down, and I got a ham alert from him this morning. He's at Galveston Island State Park doing POTA, or he was this morning at least. So,
well, thanks for the invite, Frank.
Yeah.
Dick.
I will say when it comes to triplexers and whatnot, what's really cool about it, I think the best part is that everybody then kind of sits together. Instead of like at field day where they all get to the edges of our limited space that we can be in. Everybody sits in one location, and there can be all kinds of shop talk and collaboration, stuff like that. That's the best part about having
as long as you're wearing headphones.
Oh yeah,
right.
we all yeah.
I think we had like a separation of like at least 800 feet because we were running power and had to get the door dipoles like perpendicular to each other, and we had to use walkie-talkies to talk to each other. It was so hard.
All right, pause here for a second. Josh, your mic came down again. I don't know. You're just a little bit quieter than everybody else. Bob is a booming signal. Mike and Sterling sound fine. Yeah, it's a little bit better, but
maybe I just wasn't up on it.
When you were solo here a minute ago, I turned the adjuster up in OBS. But now that everybody's talking, it's more noticeable. Just heads up. So okay.
Check.
All right. Check. Yeah. Okay. So we'll unpause there. I wanted to go for 30 minutes or so. We've been going for an hour, so I don't want to keep you guys if I don't want to, if you guys are cool, I'm cool to hang out for another 10 or 15 minutes. But if you guys need to go, don't worry about it. So we can.
I got like another 15 minutes in me.
Got an Oktoberfest to attend to.
An Oktoberfest. There you go.
Got priorities.
They're doing that. We got a place we're going here next weekend for that. So cool.
Sterling will be 50 when he does his next one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I turned 50 this year. I'm official AARP now with you, Bob. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, You might
I'm
be
on
one or
Social
two.
Security now.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Hey, at least there's some left for you. Congratulations. I mean, seriously.
Get it while you can.
Get it while you
how's
can,
that
buddy.
feel?
Yeah.
Well, it's hot.
Yeah.
Woo. What, Sterling? You're
first rate pussy.
I was saying.
I gotta
Social
bleep that
Security,
out.
That must
Yeah,
be nice.
what?
But I was saying, if you look real close, you might see one or two gray
Oh, I've got a
hairs.
ton.
Yeah, you might see one or two here.
dude, I started growing my beard. It was down here in my mustache, and this part didn't come in until I started this part. This part here I started in like the 8th grade. By the 10th grade,
when you looked like the Amish.
right. When in the 10th grade, the whole thing was coming in, and this part right here has always been gray. I was like 15 years old when this part was growing, and it was gray. My mom's like, well, you got a gray beard. I'm like, shut up. Do not.
Yeah, my wife said the same thing. You got a gray hair. I'm like, pull it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Get rid of it. I'm not turning 50.
So I was like, it's always been gray.
I'm too young for this.
Yeah. Right. Well, ginger, as you are, Sterling. It's more noticeable, I guess.
Got that Irish in me.
Yeah, right.
So is Frank with Ham Radio friends down there?
I don't think so. So that surprised me that he was on POTA this morning. I was like, what the hell is he doing? I think he's with his gaming people that he gets together and plays board games with friends once a month or once a week or so. I don't know. It's some friends that I think I've met one time. I mean, they're nice people. But yeah, when I got a ham alert on him this morning, I'm like, hey, that dumbass is at my freaking park. What the hell?
Well, I'm thinking it's only 2 hours away. Maybe I go crash their party.
I go down there. Yeah,
wow.
I don't know.
I could be there before Josh's live stream.
He's not. He's not with ham radio operators. I know that for a fact because if he would have said, "Hey, we're going to take some hams down to your house, Jason. Can I use it?" I'm like, "Hell no, I'm going with you." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Can you?" No, he's with a group of his friends. But so I don't. I guess he must have broke away this morning, but I don't know what he's doing.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've got to be having a beautiful time because it is. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's upper 80s, low humidity. And I'm sure it's probably similar on Galveston. It's just so nice here.
Oh yeah, it's got to be. Yeah,
So.
it's been low 80s. Probably so. It's been low 80s, and the humidity left us about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's been beautiful outside the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, enjoy it while you can because it's not going to last.
But it's not going to snow.
Get a hurricane now.
That's true. It's not. Well, probably not going to snow.
Yeah,
it might snow.
Look at that one time.
It does snow in Texas.
Right when I moved here.
I know.
Like a week after I moved into this house, we had that big freeze. But
that's oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I've lived in Texas.
That was a big deal.
I've lived in Texas for 50 freaking years. That's the only time I've seen single digits in the temperature was after Mike moved here.
Yep. But other than that, I mean, it's like I'll wear pants in the winter and a hoodie. That's it. If I got to bundle up more than that, I don't want to live there.
I don't blame you. Nice place to visit.
I've paid my dues.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you. We gotta have we will do one of these episodes about POTA because I mean, I don't think we can ever get tired of talking about POTA. It's just one of those things. But we were talking about amplifiers before when you were AFK there, Josh.
Oh yeah.
So I've got you've got one of those expert amps, right?
Expert. No, I don't. I didn't.
No?
I didn't buy it. I just borrowed it.
Oh, okay. The one you plugged into your truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Full legal limit out of the back of the truck. Man.
Yes. Yeah.
I got a phone call, and I'll see y'all next time.
All right.
Thanks, Sterling. Thank you,
Bob, you won't like it though. It was out of my electric truck.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got an inverter in the back of his electric truck.
So it's got 240 in the back.
Cyber truck?
No, the Ford.
No, he's got the Ford Lightning.
Oh, the Ford Lightning. How do you like that?
Oh, I love it. No, I don't tow. If you're not going to tow, don't get it. Like if you want to tow, it's not for you. But everything else, it's perfect for me. It's fantastic. Love it.
What's your commute like?
25 miles each way.
And
charge
do you
it home
charge when you get there?
No, I charge it home off my home power. It charges overnight, no problem. Done deal.
What's the range on it?
It's advertised 300, but anytime you start going fast or you're going uphill, it changes that significantly.
Sure.
Or you roll the windows up or down.
Right.
Well, but that car you had before that, was that a Nissan Leaf? It was only like 70 miles, right?
Yeah, it was a first-gen Nissan Leaf. And
Yeah,
I lived with 70 miles on a
70
battery.
miles,
I had that for like 4 or 5 years, yeah.
Sheesh. That's insane.
Was it got a little 20 amp hour Bioenno in the back? Or?
Yeah, it's fully Bioenno. It's
fully
awesome,
Bioenno. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Replacement batteries for you.
Right, totally.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of AA's. You just shove them in the back of it.
Yeah.
It sorts itself out.
They're the Duracell rechargeables, the NiCads.
How many volts is it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what they run. A lot? Considerable?
Did you see that that video that Julian made about charging his 52-volt e-bike with a solar panel?
I did, and in fact, I've talked to the folks at PowerFilm about e-bike charging specifically.
Yeah,
because I've been looking at e-bikes for 3 years, and I can't find something that kind of does what I want that isn't like just a Chinese. They're all Chinese bikes, but
they're all Chinese.
But what they're doing is they're getting the Chinese bikes and they're branding them with like American brand names, and then they're cranking them up like $1,000, like putting a charge on that for just having a business stateside.
Right.
But I want a cargo bike of some kind, right? That you can carry stuff, and then you could potentially also charge it. Either have a battery hot swappable, or actually be able to put a solar panel into it and charge while you go. Like there's no slick options for that. At least none that I'm like really in love with the bike.
So I bought the electric bike.
I've got 2 of those.
Okay, so I've got the XP 2.0. The non-step.
You got the 2.0.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, the 3.0 came out like a month after I bought mine. I really kind of felt gypped about that, but there wasn't much difference in the two. But that was the one that was recommended to me by Hank Strange. Actually, I was doing some research, and Hank's like, this one's got really good marks on it, and he's right. I've had it for 2 years. I love it. It works great. It's a 51.8 volt, I think is what it is. System, something like that.
Okay.
So Jennison makes a boost controller that goes from you can plug a 12 or a 19 volt panel into.
No.
And it will,
No.
Yeah.
Your panel that I gave you is a higher voltage panel than what we would use for a 12 volt system.
I'm not talking about that panel. I'm talking about a Jennison charge controller that you can plug a.
I don't think the specs on that. I think you're mistaken on that. If it is, great, but that's why I gave you that panel, because the open circuit voltage is like 30-something volts, and that's what that.
I thought it was like 24 volts.
That's what that charge.
Well, maybe it's a 24 volt. Maybe it's a 24 volt.
Yeah.
Charge control at 24 to 52.
That's what it
goes
is.
to like 54. It actually goes higher.
Oh, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Is it a 160 watt panel?
Yes. It's a 160 watt panel. Yes, they're 160 watt crystalline panel.
Yeah,
and not the polyanamorphous or whatever it's called, but the actual crystalline panel. But I was thinking that charge controller would go 12 to 24
to change
volts.
itself.
Remember, but that's what I'm gonna do. But Julian's got that same panel and that same charge controller, and that's what but he's got a different bike than I do. So I think he's got a Rambo or something. I don't remember what he called it. It's not a brand I was familiar with, but there's a lot of them out there. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of
fascinating how I see electric bikes now everywhere, like going up and down the beach and all that stuff. They're everywhere. So people
got them at the state park. All they're zipping around the trails and all around the streets and stuff.
You see them all over overland shows. I'm not being facetious here. I would expect that you see them all over California. Just because, why wouldn't you? But I see them here quite a bit too, so they're getting to be a lot more popular, I think. So I love mine. Like I said, I've had it for 2 years, and I think I've plugged it in to charge it like maybe 10 times in the last 2 years.
Oh, really?
That battery lasts a long time. It's got like a 40-mile range on that battery, something like that.
What kind of antennas are you going to rig it out with a mobile?
Yeah,
radio?
exactly.
Like, that's what I want to hear is how you're gigging out your electric bike.
Right. Yeah. Well, I need to get
Josh. You should try the Suron or one of those the newer versions of a Suron.
I've seen that one.
Oh yes, I've seen
those things are badass.
Cool.
I had the first gen, and I sold it because I always had range anxiety.
But where do you put your radios? Those are all like little motorcycles. Where do you put your radios on that? I need the side boxes and all that stuff to go along with it. Right?
Man pack.
No. No.
Yeah, just have a backpack with an antenna coming out the top of it, just and a headset,
and then tag an overpass and yank you off the.
God,
hey, you got there's
no man, you're on the beach,
YouTube
man.
Videos. He runs around LA all over the place on one of those.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I think I've seen
all over the
that.
streets.
This is the guy who finds like the crazy, like scenes happening live with people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that guy. That's wild. Some of the stuff he's got.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the guy who like drives through the ghetto and stuff on his e-bike.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Night to leisurely stroll through Compton, California.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the day where he runs out of battery and they take his bike.
His bike. Yeah. Oh wow. That's crazy.
My bike, punk.
That's my bike, punk.
Well, maybe it's like both of ours, but we keep it at my house. I'm just going straight up Friday. I'm sorry. Debo.
Totally got that reference. But
I've seen that movie way too many times.
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll go ahead and start to spin it down here. So we lost Sterling, and I guess he got a phone call or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably from his pregnant wife, which I don't blame him. I would leave too. I'd be like, see ya.
Oh yeah. Bye-bye.
But guys, thank you once again for taking an hour out of your Saturday afternoon. Expect some invites to some of these in the future. Like I said, I'm going to bring different groups of people on, but I kind of probably somewhere around mid to late January, I'll probably invite everybody on and we'll get together and talk about Hamcation coming up. That kind of thing. So,
maybe we'll all have our new Yaesu radios by then.
Well, if the end of the world doesn't happen, maybe I'll be ready to travel by then.
There you go.
Well, you know what? I mean, come November 5th, you're gonna know whether you want to hide in a bunker or you can go out in public.
Well, I'm already hiding in the bunkers.
Well, yeah, you are. Oh boy, yeah. So we'll see if Orlando even happens next year. No, I'm kidding. No,
ominous foreboding.
But kind of, but
we all may be taxed out of existence.
Oh my gosh. So, so we're gonna do these. I'm gonna do these recordings once a month. I'll let you guys know when it posts. I'd appreciate it if you could share it, and we'll go from there. But thank you to Bob, Mike, and Josh, and thanks to Sterling as well. And we're going to anybody that wants to comment on the video below that you're watching and think of a topic. I think I said this before we hit record, but when we were doing these just about every month throughout 2020 and part of 2021, the most popular ones were the ones that were like a specific subject. Like we're going to talk about this today. The antennas one was very popular. I think we did one about POTA that was popular. One about QRP radios maybe would be popular. So that kind of thing. So if you have any topics you would like to hear us discuss together as a group with no filter, I mean, you can clearly, I'm going to have to go into the monetization settings and say K6UDA was here on YouTube, which is cool, no, not a big deal, but so whatever you want to, whatever topic you want us to talk about together and get really kind of heated about, put a comment below. Thank you for watching today. Everyone subscribe to the channels below. I will put links to everything in the description below, including Bob's Rumble channel.
Ooh.
So there you go.
Hey,
thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Restricted.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.